Hi, my name is Jennifer Mayo, and for my professional learning network project, I decided to create a Pinterest account. I've never had a Pinterest account, which I know might seem a little odd because so many people have one these days, but I always told myself I was going to stay off of it because I was worried that I would spend more time on Pinterest looking at recipes or shopping or clothes or any of those things and not working on my graduate work or things for my classroom or spending time with my friends or my family. So I have stayed off of it. But after taking this technology mini course, I realized that, wait a minute, I can have the best of both things. I can create a Pinterest account and use it to help me with graduate school. And so when I was creating my account, I had a fun time doing a little about me blog. I said I'm a sixth grade math teacher trying to find the next best thing. That's just how I've run my classroom. I'm always looking for new ways to use technology. I love foldables, and I'm always trying to encourage my students and looking for an encouraging word. On my walls, I think I have more encouraging posters than I do math posters. But that's me, and that's how I create my room. So when you look at my Pinterest account, I've got 5 boards up here. I've organized them into different categories. I want to talk about a little bit of those. I've got the basic teaching corner, which are just anything that I think is important or I've found that is fun. Then I've got wise words. Now this one's special to me, and that's just different posters or motivational posters that I found that I either want to have made or print, or just quotes to use for students. Another thing I did was brain breaks, because we're really talking about that in our professional development meetings at campus, and just helping students have those mental breaks that the teenage brain right now can only take so much information at one time. So I'm really interested in finding ways to do that in my classroom in the most effective ways. Another thing that I have is professional development for teachers. With my graduate work, since I am looking at diving into curriculum and instruction and possibly working as an instructional coach or a math coach, I realized that I might be in charge of some professional development, and I want to make sure that the time I have with those teachers is valuable, and I want them to leave like they've learned something new. And so I really enjoyed searching through and finding tips for good, productive professional development. And then finally, my last board is, I titled it My Work, and it's a look at the work I've done on incorporating different forms of technology in the classroom. If you look here, this was my screencast that I made on the 21st Century Project for adding it all up. And that was something I learned how to do on my Pinterest account. Was I had to I had to go to this button right here, and I had to make a widget. And that's how I was able to upload my YouTube account. So that was something new that I'd learned. And that takes you through to my rubric that I made, the spreadsheet that I made, and the project that it talked about with the 21st Century Learning. So we could click on that, and it would take you right there, and there we go. So that kind of takes you to what I was doing. And so with the My Work page, I added in other important technology pieces that I have learned through the mini course. This one right here I am most interested in. It says Internet Research. And is the site credible? Because with my graduate program, I've had to do a lot of research on, different math models for my capstone project. And, just doing a Google search can take you to so many different places. And I was having to look for very specific type of research papers. And in the other mini course we did on research, it kind of taught us through that. And so I realized that a lot of our students think anything if it's on the website, it's true. And so I thought this would be a really good activity, or at least board to show for either our reading teachers or anyone when kids are having to do research. Are they looking at, is the site credible? Does it make sense? Is it factual? And things to consider. So I had pinned that for them. I also pinned Cell Phones in Class, a real-life research project. And I was reading on this, and the kids are making a case as to why they should be able to use their cell phone in class, which is very interesting now because they talk about don't fight the cell phones, embrace the cell phones, which I thought was so true. And then 100 ways to use iPads in your classroom. Almost every campus I've been to now has a classroom set of iPads that you can check out. And so maximizing the time. 7 best educational apps for middle schoolers. I'm teaching middle school, and so going here, getting this information not only to my students, but also to my parents. They're always asking me, what are things that I can do to help my students? And so I thought this would be a great way to go, and some of these apps are free and some do cost money. And finally, I just want to end with, on my Pinterest account, I really am enjoying this wise words, and I just think it's important for educators to remember that so much of what we teach is important in content, but also just for encouraging our kids. And so I thought this was interesting. State testing now is just such a big deal, and how wonderful would it be if the kids walked up and they saw that their teachers really cared about them and wanted them to do well. So I thought that would be motivational for teachers and to kind of help them remember why we're doing what we're doing. And then study skills, again, helping kids learn how to study and what works best for them. So this was my Pinterest account. I've enjoyed working on it. I am enjoying making pins and then hopefully gaining some followers and continuing to find more followers and gain more pins to help me become a better educator and to hopefully help me with my ultimate goal of working with more curriculum and instruction as an instructional coach. So thank you for looking at my Pinterest account.